Sonic.exe. Let's start with the big one. Sonic.exe, created in 2011, basically invented the entire .exe subgenre of creepypastas. The story centers around a corrupted Sonic game where our blue hedgehog has become something far more sinister. Here's what happens. Someone receives a mysterious disc labeled Sonic.exe and decides to play it. Instead of the cheerful Green Hill Zone we all know, they're greeted with reversed music and Sonic's familiar sprite staring directly at them with black, hollow eyes and red pupils. His trademark grin has twisted into something predatory. The gameplay involves controlling Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Robotnik as they're hunted down by this demonic Sonic. Each character meets a gruesome end, complete with pixelated blood and distorted screams. The game ends with a simple message: I am God. What made Sonic.exe so influential wasn't just the story itself, but how it spawned an entire ecosystem. Fan games, YouTube readings, remixes. It created a template that hundreds of other creators would follow. The formula was simple but effective. Take a beloved character, corrupt them, and let the uncanny valley do the rest. Pokemon Black version. This creepypasta predates the official Pokemon Black and White games by years, which adds to its mystique. The story revolves around a bootleg Pokemon cartridge with one horrifying twist, a move called Ghost that doesn't just defeat Pokemon, it permanently erases them from existence. The horror builds gradually. At first it seems like a regular Pokemon game, but then you notice the defeated Pokemon don't disappear. They follow you as translucent shadows, creating this growing parade of the digitally dead. Gym battles become mass murders as you systematically erase every trainer's team. What's particularly disturbing is how the game world reacts. Wild Pokemon appear as decaying corpses, their cries replaced with static death rattles. Your own team starts dying mysteriously, leaving empty Pokeballs behind. The ghost Pokemon you encounter aren't captured traditionally, they're recruited from your victims. The story works because Pokemon games are fundamentally about friendship and bonding with creatures. Pokemon faint, they never truly die. By introducing permanent death, the creepypasta violates the core promise of the franchise and turns it into something genuinely disturbing. NES Godzilla. The NES Godzilla creepypasta stands apart because of its sheer ambition. This isn't just a story, it's a multimedia experience, complete with screenshots, detailed documentation, and world building that rivals professional horror fiction. The central antagonist is Red, a writhing mass of crimson flesh with multiple eyes and impossible geometry. What makes Red terrifying isn't just its appearance, but its awareness. This thing knows it's trapped in a video game and desperately wants out. It phases through walls, defies the game's physics, and directly addresses the player through corrupted text boxes. New levels appear overnight on the cartridge, places called Entropy and Extus that were never programmed by human hands. Even the familiar monsters like Mothra and Gamera flee from Red in terror, their AI seemingly aware they're encountering something that violates their digital reality. The story unfolds across multiple chapters, building genuine dread through meticulous documentation. Each screenshot feels authentically glitched, each encounter more disturbing than the last. Its creepypasta is found footage horror, and it's incredibly effective. Mario Horror. The Mario Horror Collection works precisely because Mario is gaming's most wholesome character. He's the friendly plumber who saves princesses and brings joy to millions. So when these stories show Mario crushing Luigi's skull or throwing Princess Peach into spike pits, the contrast creates immediate horror. These aren't just random violence either. The stories use Mario's familiar sound effects and animations against us. His cheerful Yahoo becomes sinister when he's stomping toads to death. His classic jump sound warps into maniacal laughter as he murders his way through the Mushroom Kingdom. Other variations include endless castle loops where Mario runs forever through halls lined with corpses, or impossible levels that rebuild themselves each time you think you've escaped. Sometimes Mario breaks character entirely, his voice cracking as he asks, "Why won't you let me out?" The psychological impact comes from the violation of trust. Mario represents pure innocent fun. When that gets corrupted, it strikes at something fundamental about gaming culture. Barney.exe takes the .exe format and applies it to children's entertainment. The purple dinosaur becomes a digital stalker, booting up computers at 3 a.m. and displaying his familiar smile with eyes that track your movement across the room. The horror comes from Barney's persistence. His educational games become twisted lessons using blood and severed body parts. The virtual children in his world try desperately to escape, but Barney's arms stretch across impossible distances to drag them back. "We're going to play forever and ever" becomes a threat rather than a promise. What makes this particularly unsettling is the reported real-world effects. Parents across forums claim the game launches itself randomly, displaying Barney's face even when computers are supposedly off. It transforms a children's character into something that invades your personal space. Ben Drowned. Ben Drowned might be the most sophisticated gaming creepypasta ever created. It centers around a haunted copy of Zelda, Majora's Mask, possessed by the spirit of a drowned boy named Benjamin. The genius of Ben Drowned lies in its multimedia approach. The original creator produced fake gameplay videos that looked genuinely disturbing. Water levels flooding randomly, Link drowning on dry land, NPCs speaking in reverse. The Happy Mask salesman's face stretches impossibly wide, his eyes following the player with predatory interest. Ben, as the entity calls itself, communicates directly through the game, manipulating Link's actions against the player's controller inputs. Clock run backwards, the Song of Healing becomes a funeral dirge, and Ben starts appearing in other games like a digital virus. The story succeeded because it felt real. The videos were convincing enough that thousands of viewers believed they were witnessing genuine, supernatural phenomena. It helped that Majora's Mask is already a pretty dark game. Ben Drowned just pushed it over the edge into genuine horror. Lavender Town Syndrome. Lavender Town Syndrome is probably the most believable gaming creepypasta because it sounds plausible. The story claims that children in Japan began committing suicide after hearing the original Lavender Town music in Pokémon Red and Green. The music was allegedly different in Japanese cartridges, a high-pitched, discordant melody that contained frequencies triggering suicidal thoughts in developing minds. Victims aged 7 to 12 would exhibit severe behavioral changes, nosebleeds, headaches, and obsessive playing. The theory involved binaural beats interfering with brain development, creating digital hypnosis. Game Freak supposedly replaced the track for international releases, but urban legends claim the original composer hid subliminal messages within the frequency patterns. Parents allegedly found children dead while clutching Game Boys, the haunting theme still playing. While never confirmed, this creepypasta works because it taps into genuine parental fears about video games' psychological impact. It feels real enough to be scary, fake enough to be shareable. Polybius. Polybius stands apart from other gaming creepypastas because it predates the internet horror story format. This urban legend claims that mysterious black arcade cabinets appeared overnight in Portland suburbs during 1981. The cabinets bore only the name Polybius in simple white letters. No company logos, no flashy artwork. Kids who played reported severe side effects: amnesia, night terrors, and unshakable urges to keep playing despite psychological torment. Government agents in black suits allegedly monitored the machines, collecting data before the cabinets vanished as mysteriously as they'd arrived. The gameplay defied description. Abstract geometric shapes that hurt to look at, maze-like levels mapping neural pathways, subliminal messages flickering between frames. Players who achieved high scores supposedly disappeared entirely, their names erased from records and family memories. Decades later, no ROM dumps or circuit boards have ever surfaced. Polybius remains gaming's most enduring mystery, a Cold War psychological experiment disguised as entertainment.
Subscribe for more interesting stuff. Tell us your experience in the comments.